welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are here in Pandemonium, or in front of Pandemonium, perhaps, with Themis and Erichtonios and Lahabrea, because last time he showed up after we confronted what appeared to be the mastermind behind what's going on here, Hephaestus. And Lahabrea also revealed that Themis is Elidibus. I see Elidibus has chosen to keep odd company. Such a vexing composition of ether you possess. I, in my own grasp on what just occurred, is somewhat tenuous. Doubtless Lahabrea can elucidate matters for us. A keyword's jail. I don't know how long it's been since we last spoke, Lahabrea, and truth be told, I had hoped we never would again. But I see now that I was a fool to think I would ever escape your meddling. Just what is that thing that called himself Lahabrea, and why is he the spitting image of your younger self? I find it hard to believe you've only just now found out such a being was wreaking havoc in Pandemonium. Did you think matters would simply sort themselves out? Huh. I suppose you deserve at least a cursory explanation. I was well aware of the anomalies occurring within Pandemonium, including the fact that Asim and Elidibus had taken it upon themselves to investigate. I saw no reason to insert myself into the situation. For a time, that was. Imagine my surprise when, instead of a formal report from you and yours, I received a communication from one of the keywords stating that research and operations were proceeding as usual. While Hephaestus' deception was almost childish in its simplicity, it became plain to me that your grasp of the situation was slipping. So you knew of his existence from the beginning? I can hardly imagine that he would suffer another to masquerade as one of a convocation. Not without good reason, at least. As you well know, the name Lahabrea is but a mark of my station. 'Tis not the name I was born with. Hephaestus has claimed that for himself. I cannot fault him for it, as he is my other half, in a manner of speaking. He knows all that I know, my equal in every way. Yet within his heart is naught but greed, envy, and desire. All the emotions that we are loath to acknowledge within ourselves. If what you say is true, what purpose would such a being serve? He is a product of experimentation gone awry, a reminder of the days when I was yet young and reckless. I thought him sealed away for good, but it seems time has a way of unearthing the shame we bury. When he spoke of my mother, he looked at you with venom in his eyes, blamed you for her death. Tell me, was he right to do so? His words were but the ramblings of a tortured mind. The hatred and despair he endures has warped his view of the world irreparably. And now that he has awakened, he must be put to rest. If he succeeds in breaching Pandemonium's protective wards, he shall invite disaster into our star. As chief keyword of Pandemonium, it's my duty to decide the proper course of action. As such, I declare that all research shall be summarily abandoned and the facility destroyed. What? You would leave the other warders to their doom? 'Tis a choice befitting Lahabrea. Do you disagree? You speak of duty, and ours is to guide our star and its inhabitants upon the correct course. It's no surprise that you would choose annihilation of Pandemonium if its existence posed even the remotest risk to our people. Yet as you can see by Erichtonios' response, the decision is somewhat more nuanced than that. Asim and I grappled with this conundrum for some time, in fact. but it's precisely why I chose to involve myself directly. It was the only way I could truly determine the best solution. And you need not trouble yourself with that further. The chief keyword must prevent the worst from occurring, no matter the cost. Your feelings, Elizabeth, are of no consequence. Have you taken even a moment to consider another path? No. You spared nary a thought for aught but yourself and your duty. You have no idea of the trials you've endured, the foes that Desiree has stood against. Desiree, is it? A being of such air as I've never seen. What are you? She's the guiding star that shall lead us safely through this. Thanks to her stout arm and steadfast courage, you subdued the mythic creations and returned them to their cells. Speaking of which, I would hear your opinion, Desiree. As outsiders, we are in a unique position to look upon circumstances with our vision unclouded by attachment. It's too soon to give up on the others. Agreed. We still know next to nothing about Abyssos, and I highly doubt Lahabrea has been forthcoming with the truth. But we've managed to regain control of Asphodelos. He must be made to see that there's merit in continuing this path. I have it. Speak in your official capacity as Elidibus the emissary. Judge which approach is more sound, and even Lahabrea would be compelled to listen. As Elidibus, I'm duty-bound to assess the matter from a position of impartiality. My opinion as Femis can carry no weight. You understand what it means, yes? I do, even so. You've walked with us all this time. Seen what we've seen. Based on that alone, I trust you'll find the best way forward. Very well. Then, in my capacity as emissary, I shall state my judgment. At present, there are merits both in destroying Pandemonium outright and taking time to rescue its researchers, and neither is yet an impossible task. Therefore, I judge that the most measured choice would be to continue upon our present course. We delve into Abyssos, interring any mythic creations we encounter along the way. You have yet to witness Desiree's might and Erichtonios' resolve. I would ask that you see our capabilities firsthand, and only then decide if our endeavor is futile. If such is the will of the emissary, then I shall obey. However, if indeed I find your strength to be lacking, I trust there will be no objection to the immediate destruction of Pandemonium. You needn't worry about that. We won't fail. You are bolder than I remember. And you're even more tedious than I remember. Desiree, come find me when you're finished. Erichtonios is understandably frustrated, but if we are to conquer Abyssos, we must go forth with clear heads. Pray lend an ear to his troubles, that the weight might be lightened. You have done all you can with words, only your actions can convince me now. Despite recent developments, our plan remains unchanged. Pray call me Temis for the time being. It shall put us all in the correct mindset, and in fact, you may be coming to prefer that name. Erichtonios? You do have my gratitude, ill-fit as I am to show it at the moment. Without your words to sway him, Lahabrea would have carried out his plan without a second thought. When at first we realized the creations had slipped their bonds, the other keywords did all in their power to restore order. Even though they could have chosen escape, they remained to aid their allies. I'm certain not a soul among them would wish to see this facility erased from the world, and they don't deserve to be abandoned simply for carrying out their duty. And besides, Abyssos has secrets yet untold. Secrets that would be buried if Pandemonium were reduced to rubble. I mean to uncover the truth behind his words. The truth of my mother. While Lahabrea was quick to dismiss his claims, I failed to see what Abyssos would gain by fabricating such a story. All I was told of my mother's death was that she perished in an accident. No one would say more. It was almost as if they feared saying more, in fact. Even if it was not Lahabrea that dealt the fatal blow, we've seen with our own eyes how quickly it can condemn others to die. I only wish to know at last what befell her. What do you think, Desiree? Does the Lahabrea you know have any regard for the lives of others? Or will he carry out his duty with another's blood on his hands? I have no idea what he might be like in this age. This age? Just how long has it been since last you met? Regardless, I'd like you to try and view him as he is now. Another opinion would be much appreciated. But it's plain there's much to consider. Thank you, Desiree. It's easy for me to get carried away by emotion where he's concerned. We should focus on the task at hand, proving to Lahabrea that we are capable of saving Pandemonium and its keepers. The most convincing way to do that will be to regain control of Abyssos. Although, I'm loath to admit it, he would know more about those steps than any of us, and seeing how we require every advantage we can afford. Desiree, would you speak to him for us? He seems to have a special interest in your capabilities, and may deign to help at your suggestion, if only to see what he can do. Researchers of different layers seldom contact one another unless work is involved. They know next to nothing about the keyword of Abyssos. Any morsel of information Lahabrea can offer would be a boon. Despite recent developments, our plan remains unchanged. We had that. Erichtonios appears to have a deep trust in you. Elidibus tells me you share some relation to Asm. Your unusual effort does not mark you as a familiar. It's unlike anything I've seen, even among countless concepts I have observed. To think that I would encounter an existence I could not create by my own hand. Asm never ceases to surprise. The previous Asm was much the same, and taking the entirety of a star into consideration, she came to hold dear emotions and people that a more logical mind would have discarded. This made her act in her own self-interest more often than not. Just as you and Elidibus have conducted yourself in this matter. The true danger of Asm's nature is its tendency to infect all those she comes into contact with. Emmett Selk said much the same. Trust that I shall do naught that would violate my duty. And yet you so frivolously invoked your authority as emissary to justify this little excursion. It matters little, however. Only your deeds can speak for you now. You wish to know more about Abyssos, I take it? Although I no longer have control over many of its functions, I can yet sense what creations lie within. The chief keyword's reach is far indeed. Well then, what do we have for? Well then, what do we have to look forward to? I sense no creations of note. Perhaps they have been made into fodder for experimentation, or perhaps they have been transferred to the deeper circles. Yet Abyssos would never allow you safe passage. He has left a trial for you to overcome. I speak of hegemony, keyword of Abyssos. Although her presence is stained with the marks of corruption, it is unmistakable. I knew her as a woman gifted in magic and blessed with a highly logical mind. While I can sense those qualities within her still, there's something else at work. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say that's because she's already been twisted into her hemitheos, doubtless against her will. Desiree, Themis, we must rescue her from that cruel fate, and we can at least seal her away until we find a means to undo the damage. Your allies make you bold, Erichtonios. I very much look forward to seeing how far they carry you. Hegemony was a woman of reason and logic. She would never be swayed by Abyssos' wretched schemes. I hope she was not made to suffer overmuch. That does not change the strategy that has served us so well thus far. Bring Hegemony to heel, Desiree. The Erichtonios and I shall inter her when the time is right. Now we prove our strength. Only then can we free the other warders and unveil the truth hidden in Pandemonium's shadows. Good. And there's Hegemony. Abyssos is my charge, and I shall not shirk my duty. Be swept away in a flood of aether. So again. Rot from the inside out. Turn around when the debuff runs out. Because you're about to bath something in a cone. Combining mechanics. Oh. I fell asleep. Cannot measure against the keyword. Let's get exchanged, so I stay here. Good. And done. As is to be expected, Erichtonios appears quite pleased with our victory. I could sense from here that Germany had been contained. The effect of Hephaestus' tinkering is even more dire than I had imagined. We've won. The keyword is sealed away and alive this time. Lahabrea can't deny us now. Servant of violence. Our plan was a success, although I hardly need to tell you that. Hegemony has been sealed away, now we have no choice but to admit the merit in our methods. You have a right of it. I'm not so petty as to deny the achievement of those I've squabbled with, no matter how strongly we disagree. Moreover, this being, after as thin as retreating mist, unable to wield creation magics, yet powerful enough to subdue a Hemitheos, has made this ordeal far more interesting. When we have leave to continue? As for that, there's one among you whose very presence puts the others at risk. It would be best to proceed without him, for failure would have consequences that reach far beyond Pandemonium. And of whom do you speak? A warder who cannot even conduct his duty without aid. In this place, hope alone is not enough to overcome what awaits you. A single misstep will send all to their doom. So long as we each do our part and look to the allies by our side, even a neophyte can upraise his companions. That's something that Desiree and Themis taught me. While I do not wish to express any bias, I'm inclined to agree. If my investigation has made anything clear, it is that we are together greater than the sum of our parts. And hope has brought us this far. It drives us to seek the right path, and to act before that path lies close to us. Then tell me, what is it you hope for? To see Hephaestus in chains. That's a surest way to prevent further sacrifices. I'm aware that destroying Pandemonium will rid us of him, but the cost is far too great. And I admit, I wish to know how he means to resurrect Athena. And there we have it. You must leave this place at once, and do not think to set foot in Pandemonium again. You are capable, that much is plain. Yet Hephaestus cannot be suffered to live, and I shall not allow his talk of resurrection to poison mine or anyone else's mind. Life flows in a circle, this is known. All souls return to the underworld, and Athena's is no exception. She has likely found a new vessel and a new journey to embark upon. You cannot be ignorant of the folly of Hephaestus' words. Even were he to breathe life into a body, the soul contained within would not be of your mother. What if our knowledge is imperfect? What if Hephaestus has discovered something that no one else has? He knows all that you do, understands the bitter reality of a world. He wouldn't pursue the impossible. Think, Erichtonios. I've already explained that he is merely my twisted reflection. Is it worth bringing back your mother if it means others are being used and discarded like tools? Is it worth it? To see her once more? Now you measure the worth of your colleagues' lives. What was that foolish braying about saving them? Merely performance to hide your childish devotion to your mother? Please, such barbs will get us nowhere. You should first discuss... You would call me a fool? You who murdered your wife in service of your ambition? For the sake of a star, no doubt. I hear it again. That voice inside my head. I know who to follow. Hephaestus. Father. Mother, oh, I love you so, and this voice will guide me to you. No, listen not, Erichtonios. Apologies. You taught me that a calm heart stays the course, but I could never even grasp a rudder. And I think this is a good place to end the episode. Until next time, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.